Here. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Happy Thankful Thursday. Hope that you are having a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I hope that you are staying warm because it is extremely cold tonight. Good evening. Please, as you come in, please let me know. Please share with me your name and where you're chiming in from. I would greatly appreciate it so that I can know who who I am communicating with. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here if I can see any information up here. No, I cannot. Okay. So as you come in, please just identify yourself. Let me know. Tell me your name and where you're chiming in from. I would greatly appreciate it. Hey, Miss Sandy, thank you so much for coming back on, girl. I don't know what was going on. Every single time I tried to live stream from my computer, it just does not seem to work for some reason. So I apologize for having to switch over. Did you have an opportunity to download the workbook that I attached to the event? Did you have a chance to download it? Because this is what we're going to be using to work on tonight. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, good. All right. Are you planning for a big Christmas, or are you planning on staying here, or are you traveling? Now that I think about it, break line and the borderline of it. So it's just almost like it's just a regular holiday to me now, because time is just flying by. It's waiting for no one. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, time is flying by so fast now, and the cost of living has gone up so much now. Just I see a huge trend, well, basically a turn in the market this year. I see that a lot of retailers are saying that they have noticed a decline this year in the number of people who normally shop in the stores during this time, and also the number of people who normally shop on inside the stores during this time, and also the number of people who shop online as well. As a matter of fact, I read something about Walmart just right after Black Friday, I believe it was. They were saying something about um, some of the stocks were sold or something. They was getting rid of so many shares because they were not profiting. That's basically what I think they tell us, but there's just nowhere in the world Walmart can't be in profit as much money as they make and how many people actually shop there at that store. So I just really kind of find that hard to believe, but they'll tell us almost anything to make us believe. I see we have another person who just joined us. Please chime in and let us know your name and where you're chiming in from before we get started. And also make sure that you have downloaded the annual business goal workbook as well, because we're going to be going over the workbook tonight. So last week we basically kind of did a review of our business, and this week, I wanted to basically talk about our annual business goals and where you want to go for 2024 in your business. And so we can just kind of sit down and do some planning together. Um, There is a saying that goes that when you fail to plan, you've already planned to fail. So planning and goal setting is really, really important to the success of your business. Otherwise, your business will just continue to operate by default with nothing happening and you're not moving forward. So, whenever you start a business, I think that it's really important to, number one, sit down and think about where you want to go in your business. And then number two, do quarterly planning. Okay. And you can't do quarterly planning until you have pretty much decided what you want to achieve um, for the year. And I'm going to also invite all of you all to my upcoming vision board workshop. It's going to be scheduled for Saturday, December the 30th. And I'll be sharing a link on my page where if you want to register to attend the event, you are more than welcome to. The cost is only $20 to participate and to register. And with that $20, you're going to get a complete layout of basically planning out your life and where you want to go and what you want to accomplish for 2024. Now, you'll have an option to purchase your own supplies. You can also use the digital vision board option as well. And then number three, you can also order the vision board kit. So whatever your preference is and whatever you decide to do, that's totally left up to you. But if you're interested in attending, just go ahead and mark your calendars for Saturday, December 30th. Hey, Benjela. No, Benjela, you were not on the wrong meeting. What happened was I logged into that meeting on my computer, but you could not, when I asked if anybody could hear me, nobody could hear me. So Sandy was the only one that was on at that time. So I had to end that live and then I had to come back in over here and start a new live. So that's what happened. So no, you probably got the link that I sent out. So yeah, so that's what happened. So you're in the right place now. I'm glad you took the time to look to check to see where we are. So let me ask you this. Did you download a copy of the printout? I hope that you did. This is a copy of your annual business goals workbook. This is what we're going to be using tonight. Hey, Janice, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you joined me tonight. Where are you chiming in from, Janice? I know Benjela and Sandy are both in Atlanta. How about you, Janice? Where are you chiming in from tonight? I know, I think I have a delayed Mississippi. Okay, good. All right, Vicksburg, Mississippi. Okay. Janice, are you on my team or are you just following me on YouTube? I always kind of like to know. Okay. Well, so again, as I mentioned earlier, last week on my live, we discussed. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So last week on the live, we discussed and basically did an overview of our business and where we are in the business currently. Okay. And before we can move forward and have a successful and profitable business, it's important for you to sit down and just kind of give some thought to where you want to go, how you want to see your business move forward, And you have to have a visual of what that actually looks like. Okay. And there is an old adage that says that if you fail to plan, you've already planned to fail. So it's really important to take that time every single year to sit down and do some business planning. Okay. So if you have your printout, please go ahead and pull that out. Make sure you've got note paper, pen, and all of that good stuff. And let's just kind of go ahead and get started. I do respect your time. I do thank you for participating tonight. And so I want to have you out, by 9 o'clock. Okay. All right. So let's turn over to the first page where it says, before we get started, also, would y'all please go ahead and give me a like on this live so that it will kind of generate the algorithm and let the algorithm know that we are live and we are talking so that they can start sending some people our way as well. I'm sure that a lot of other people probably had the same issue that Benjula had, because I think when I sent it out, and also when I scheduled it through YouTube, I scheduled it with a different link. So that could be the reason why we have a low count tonight. But please go ahead and like this live. I would appreciate it so that it can, again, trigger the algorithm and start sending some people our way this way. Okay. All right. Now, with that being said, let's talk about visioning and planning. Visioning and planning is so crucial. There is a Bible verse in the book of Habakkuk. It talks about, and it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Where there is no vision, the people perish. So vision is crucial. When you think in terms of an architect, before a building is actually constructed, an architect has actually sat down, they have put the drawing plans on paper. They have they know all of the specific dimensions, they know the width, they know everything that they need to know in order to erect that building according to city standards. Okay. And when you think about that, everything happens and everything starts in the mind first. When you decide in your mind what you want to do, where you want to go, and you put it on paper, you write the vision and you make it plain, the Bible says that he that reads it can run with it. So that's why visioning and planning is crucial to the success of your life and also for your business. Okay. Now, the first question we have here under visioning and planning is, where do you want your business to be by year end 2024? So if you can take some time and just kind of jot that down, where do you want your business to be by year end 2024? For example, if you are currently a contender and you would like to achieve President's Club, just write down here that I would like to achieve President's Club status by campaign 26, 2024. Okay. And with that being said, we need to basically kind of break it down and know what is required to be able to achieve that goal. Okay. So, saying for instance, it does PC status and make it more than, okay, that's your goal, Benjamin, PC status and make it more than just an elaborate hobby. Okay, good. I like that. I like that because the real true fact is that it is a hobby for the majority of most people who are working this business. It's just a hobby. It's not a business. So in order for you to earn a profit of a business, you've got to treat it like a business. And that all starts with planning. And that's why we're doing that tonight. Okay. So if your goal is President's Club, then to achieve President's Club, you must have personal sales of at least $10,000 in one calendar year. Okay. $10,000 in one calendar year. So we are on campaign 25. We end campaign 26, 2023 in 2 more weeks. Once we end campaign 26, 2023, we start all over again on campaign 1. So every single person in the business starts all over again. We all have to start over. No matter how much we've sold this year, everybody has to start from ground zero all over again once we turn over to campaign 1. Okay, so don't ever feel that you're out of the loop. No, you're not. It just depends on your mindset and where you want to take your business. Okay, so let's break the numbers down. If $10,000 is what you need annually, we're going to take $10,000 and we're going to divide it by 26 campaigns, which means that you need to have personal sales on an average of $385 for $385 per campaign for at least 26 campaigns. Okay, Sandy, so yours is Honor Society. Okay. Honor Society is what, 20,000? I haven't sold at Honor Society sales in years, so I'm not sure exactly what Honor Society is. So help me with the numbers for Honor Society, Sandy. I think it's 20,000 or 21,000 or something, but we're going to stick with President's Club right now. So if the average order size, okay, all right. So if the average order size is 385, then we need to figure out how many customers that you will need to service on an average to achieve this goal every single campaign. All right. So what we're going to do is take $385 is what we need. And we're going to take that and divide it into maybe $40 because the average customer is generally going to spend right around $40. Okay. That's generally what it's been for me, around $40 to $50, unless they order online and they are getting like that. If there's like a special where they can get free shipping. Sometimes Avon run the specials and they can get free shipping if they have a minimum $25 order. And sometimes then the order size may be lower. Okay. But on an average, my personal orders generally average around $40. Okay. So if we need $385 in sales, we're going to divide that by 40 to see how many customers we need. So that tells us we need about 9.6 customers. So just to kind of round that off to the nearest number, we need to service about 10 customers every campaign. That's only 5 customers per week. So if you got your 5 customers placing a minimum $40 order each, you will achieve President's Club. Okay, this has to be done every week. 5 is the magic number. 5 placing a minimum $40 order each week is the magic number. Okay, all right. So if you have not had the time to go ahead and write that down, please take the time to go ahead and write down where you want your business to be by year end 2024. If it's Honor Society, write it down, Honor Society. Okay. and then you'll know how to work the numbers from there. So if Honor Society is $20,000 in annual sales, then you know that number is going to be double. So where you needed about 10 customers, you need to service about 20 customers if your goal is Honor Society. Okay. A minimum 20 customers, so you need to sell about $800 or more every campaign. So that's how you're going to run your numbers. So you need to service 10 for President's Club, 20 minimum for Honor Society. Okay. Now the next question is, what do you want for your business but you don't have yet? I'm going to repeat the question again. What do you want for your business but you don't have yet? That could be new customers, it could be more sales, whatever that may be, write that down. I'll give you some time to write that. All right. So, and anytime you all have questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, and I'll be paying attention to the chat and I'll answer as we go along. And welcome to all of the new people who have joined. Thank you so much for joining us. Please chime in and let us know your name and where you're chiming in from. And please also give us a like so that it can trigger the algorithm and let people know, more people know that we're on live tonight. Northern Belle, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Welcome, Northern. That's awesome. I know it's cold in Michigan because it's cold here in Georgia tonight. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Okay. Now, that second question, what do you want for your business but you don't have yet? More than likely, like I said, that's probably going to be customers, because customers is the foundation of your business. Yeah, I know it's cold, Northern. I know. So customers is the foundation of your business. Without customers, you just cannot make any money. You don't make any money when you're constantly ordering for yourself. None whatsoever. Customers is the foundation of your business. So if that's customers, write down customers. If that's recruits, write down recruits, because you make money through sales and also in leadership as well. So if you want to build two income streams there, then you need to indicate customers and recruits there. Okay. All right. Next question. What do you have in your business but you don't want? What do you have in your business but you don't want? That's kind of a deep thought question. I personally wouldn't say I don't want, because you have to be careful with using that don't want, because under the law of attraction, when you start thinking you don't want something, unless it's something that's causing harm or something like that, and you're not going to have customers that's causing any harm. So that's a kind of a tricky question there. So you can kind of think about that. That one is really not one that you're going to just be able to just find the answer right off the top of your head. Okay, so we'll come back to that one at a later time. So we'll move on to the next one under visioning and planning. The last question under visioning and planning is, what do you want to achieve for the new year? What do you want to achieve for the new year? Now, I can tell you honestly, by achieving new regular skincare customers, those are going to be the type of customers who are going to provide repeat sales for you. Customers who come in who just buy like jewelry and clothes, those are not necessarily going to be repeat customers. You're thankful for them, you're grateful for them, but they're just not the type of people who's going to provide those repeat sales for you. It's the skincare customers who are going to be the repeat customers for you. Okay. So for me, my answer would be achieve more skincare customers because I know that's where the money's at. Okay. All right. So now that we are finished with the visioning and planning page, we're going to turn over to the next page where it says set your goals. And we are using if you haven't had an opportunity to print this out, we're using the annual business goal workbook. You can download this. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Yeah, so you can download this. I provided a link for you to download the workbook to print out so that you can go through this and kind of get clear about your dreams and your goals. Okay. All right, so we're on the next page over, set your goals. Now, we're going to put a date on this. You can always go back and reprint this again. So if you want to set your goals for the first quarter of the year, you could do that as well. Because sometimes you can't really think that far ahead. Sometimes, for me, the way my brain works, I can only kind of plan like a month ahead at a time. Oh, cool. Okay, Northern, wonderful. So sometimes when as I said, like myself, some people are really good at planning out for a whole entire year. I'm just not one of those people because the way my brain works is very compartmentalized, okay? And I have to just kind of put everything like like in a box. Like everything has to have its place. And the way that I can operate, I can set the goal for 3 months ahead, but I just can't plan out for an entire year. So depending on how you want to set this goal to be completed no later than, you can set this goal to say you want to be completed by December 31st, 2024. Or if you want to do the end of the quarter, it will be March 31st, 2024. That's a personal preference for you because you can come back to this and reprint it again and revisit it again. Okay? So write in on that date on there where it says goals to be completed no later than, write what date you want to complete this. So if it's going to be the year or if it's going to be the quarter, that's totally left up to you. So that's your personal preference there. Okay? Now, the three things that would make this year a business success. What are the three things that will make your business a success this year? Think about that. Three things that will make your business a success this year. And the things that I'm thinking of that comes first to my mind is growth mindset. You got to have a change of mindset. Second thing that comes to my mind is a plan of disciplined, um, basically discipline, making sure that I'm showing up. You got to show up. You got to start in the mind. Number two, you got to show up. Instead of just browsing on social media, you got to show up and do the actual work instead of just browsing. Okay? So you got to show up to go up, in other words. I did a I did a YouTube short on that a while back. Show up to go up. So you got to show up. Number two, number one is a change in your mindset. Number two has to be show up and do the work. And then number three for me would be massive action, execution. Whatever yours is, you write down what comes to you. Now, the next question, what outcome are you looking for? Of course, the outcome is more money, and to be able to provide a service to my customers. That's me speaking. Yours doesn't have to be that. That's just me speaking. So write down what outcomes you're looking for. Okay. Let's move on to the next section. Identify six secondary goals. Six secondary goals. Okay. Now, these goals must be distinct from the primary three goals. Okay. The goals need to be specific and measurable in some way. So you need to be very specific about those secondary goals. Okay. So, like, for example, um, let me see what would be an example for this for the secondary goals. It needs to be distinct from the three primary goals. So let's just say, let me see what comes to mind. Needs to be specific and measurable in a way. Okay, so that would be contact or communicate with 20 people every day. Contact and communicate with 20 people every single day. Or exposures. Contact and expose my business to at least 20 people a day. Okay. And that is specific and it's measurable. So if it's 20 people per day and you're doing this 5 days a week, that will equals to 100 people in a week's time. Okay. So that would be one of the goals. And then the second goal could possibly be something like um, invite X amount of people every week to the live shopping events or something like that. Because if you're not taking advantage of the live shopping events, you're really missing out on an opportunity for your customers to be able to see the products live and in person. So this is where Avon is doing the showing and telling for you, and all you have to do is share that link with them and send out the invites. But so many people don't take advantage of it, so you may not be aware of it, but that's another way that you can gain sales. And if customers, if the customers you invited to the live event, if they purchase while on that live event and you use your personal link from your web store, you get credit for those sales. So a lot of times on those live events, they get like two free products with a $60 order. Sometimes they get three or four different products, free products with a $100 order. So make sure you are sharing your personal link with your customers and inviting them on a regular basis. Okay. So you can take some time and go through and answer and write down the other goals that are specific and measurable, um, that are distinct to the three primary goals there. So I just kind of gave you some examples there. Okay. All right. So let's turn over to page 1, 2, 3, page 4, preparing for success. I know the pages are not numbered, but it says preparing for success. All right. So here on the left side, it says success accelerators. So the question here is, what can I start doing, stop doing, do more or less of, that will help me achieve these business goals? Again, the question is, what can I start doing, stop doing, do more of, or less of, that will help me achieve these business goals? And you already know what the answers would be for that. Okay. Hopefully you've had some time to kind of think through that. And here on the right side, smash those obstacles. What could get in the way? If you're going to sabotage yourself, how would you do it? If you're going to sabotage yourself, how would you do it? What could get in the way of you not achieving these goals? Simply put, you just don't show up for your business. You just don't show up. That's plain and simple. Ain't no other way. Sometimes you can have family. Sometimes you may have time commitments that you have committed your time to do other things. But I always say that you make time for the things that's the most important for you or to you. So if it's important to you, you'll show up and you'll do the work that needs to be done. And that's when you don't show up, that's definitely self-sabotage. Because you had already said you were going to do it, but you just didn't show up. So you sabotaged the entire plan and you got in your own way. Fear can also get in your way. You may have a fear of rejection. That was me when I first started my business years ago. I was so fearful, but I wanted it so bad that I had to face my fears because I didn't want to go back to a corporate job. So I had to face my fears and starve my doubts to death. So I had to get up every day. I had to get out there and I had to face it every single day. I had to overcome those fears. So, whatever it is that you're doing to sabotage your success, you really need to give that some thought. Okay? All right, let's move down to the next question. What is the best advice I could give myself to achieve these goals? What is the best advice I could give myself to achieve these goals? And you already know the answer to that because I'm sure you tell yourself these things play over and over in your mind, but you just never take the time to be still to give it some thought and process those thoughts. What's the best advice you would give yourself to achieve these goals? All right. Once you have completed that, let's turn over to the last page, taking action. And we all know we can put everything down. We can plan the work all day, all night. We can make all these plans. But the fact is that if we don't take consistent action, it's never going to come to pass. It's never going to work. So it's all about taking consistent action and executing when you know you need to be executing. Okay. All right. So the first question is, what one thing will you do to get started on each goal in the next month? What one thing will you do to get started on each goal in the next month? And here it says, write out one action that you will complete towards each goal in the next month. Break the action down into a smaller step until you can commit 100%. Okay. So you have room there for about 6 action steps that you need to take, and make sure you put a date to the right there where it says by. The date goes there. One action that comes to mind, if you've been in the business for a while, is to make sure you get in contact with those old established customers you've been out of contact with. Limit my screen time. I'm only watching others meet their goal. Exactly, Benjula. I've fallen into that trap as well. I have fallen into that trap as well. Limit my screen time. Exactly. That's a big one. I think everybody needs to put that one down. Limit your screen time. Okay? Because people don't have a problem getting in front of you, showing you what they're doing. Okay, but I promise you, you will never see them in the down times. They're only going to show you the good times. Okay, so we got to stop looking and focusing on everybody else and what they're doing, and mind our own business, because energy flows wherever your attention goes. And we talked about this last week, and I shared with you last week, is that we have to look at our time and our attention just like expending energy. And that energy turns into money. So the more you're watching somebody else do their thing, they're making money. They're creating the content you're watching, and they're making the money. So you're just sitting back. I do too, Benjula. Benjula says, I have a weekly screen time report on my phone. I like to monitor it for decrease. Yeah, I have to do the same thing, Benjula, because sometimes when I will create my content, but sometimes when I post it, I get distracted and I find myself going down a rabbit hole. And before I know it, an hour or two has gone by. So yeah, we're all guilty of that. So that is definitely one of them. Needs to go down. Okay. So the 6 action steps. So definitely, I know everybody needs to put that one down. Limit your screen time. And that one needs to be done immediately, because as soon as you can start incorporating that one, the faster you're going to be able to reach your goals. So the next one, another goal could be um, um, maybe going through your list of friends and looking at their profile pages and making a list every night before the next day, so that you can have a contact list as far as who you're going to reach out to. That's another action step or goal, is to make a contact list every single day. I always tell you that something magically happens when you put the pen to the paper. And I notice every single time, because I use a daily planner. Every single time, even though I have my planner in Google Calendar, I know specifically what I need to do. But every single time I look at the calendar and I write down in my calendar, and that's one of the reasons why I still do this old school thing. Every single time I write down in my calendar, I check off and I'm putting a red cross that I accomplished that. Something happens in the psyche when you put the pen to the paper. Don't get so totally dependent on technology that you forget about the pen and the paper, because that is one of the two things that it's almost like the conscious and the subconscious mind merging together, because what you're doing is you're writing down your subconscious is your mind, your thought is writing it down. And by the mere fact that you're writing, you're taking action on the action itself. You'll find that you automatically move into the direction in which you had already recorded. But every single time I don't do that, I fall back on my goals. I'm telling you, it's magical. And if you're not doing that, I highly encourage you to do that. Have everything in your calendar, on your digital calendar, or whatever type of calendar, digital calendar time management system that you use. That's perfect. But you always are going to need a calendar that you can write in, or some type of notebook that you're going to write in. It's powerful. I promise you, it's powerful. All right. So once you get the 6 goals, the 6 goal actions down, and you put the dates next to them, finally, what one action could I take tomorrow? Write down the one action that you can take tomorrow. For me, limit that screen time. I'm going back to that one, Benjamin. Limit that screen time. I've been doing good over the last couple of weeks, but I still kind of fall into it myself. I think we're all guilty of it, especially on YouTube and TikTok, because I love to learn. And sometimes I have a tendency to just kind of overwhelm my brain that I walk away. I got so much knowledge in my head that I walk away. And if I don't write it down, if I don't write down what I've got stored in my brain, I'll end up with a headache sometimes, because I overload myself sometimes. So what's the one action you could take tomorrow to help you move forward with your goals? And you know what that is. And don't hang over the bed at night with that phone. Exactly, Vigilance. Right. I promise you, at nighttime, I'll shut down at 11:30 here in my office, and I plan on going to bed. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to take my shower, do my prayers, and I'm going to sleep. And after I do all of that, I done picked up that doggone phone. Next thing I know, I'm on TikTok for 2 hours, and it's 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, girl, you got to do better. So now I've gotten to the point where I just shut the phone off. That's the only way that I'm gonna accomplish anything. I'm telling you, they got us with this doggone these smartphones. I have dropped it so many times. I've been there too, bitch. I have mine propped up on my little tripod, but I have dropped it numerous times and fallen asleep with it still playing. But I don't like to sleep with the phone on at night because it affects my dreams, and I like for my dreams to be able to come through. And I noticed that if the phone is on, I don't remember my dreams. So it's important for me to remember my dreams because your dreams are guiding you through your life journey. So I make sure that I turn it off at night. So that's what I've started doing, Benjala. I just turn it off. I just shut it off. I don't even have it on at night anymore because I just can't do that. That's a good one, Benjala. You on that nose book. Oh Lord, that's funny. That's funny. I had one of my friends or somebody, I can't remember who it was, but they called it fake book. I think it was a friend of mine said her mom calls it fake book. And I said that is so true because a lot of stuff on there just be totally fake. And that's exactly what it is. It's fake book. Fake book and nose book because everybody want to get into your business. Yep. Yep. So with that, that completes tonight's call. So does anybody have any questions? Let's see. Northern said, "Oh wow, I never remember my dreams, but I do always fall asleep with my phone." That's why, Northern. That's why your phone, the frequency, the EMF waves are preventing you from tapping into that dimension of the dream world, and it wipes out your memory. That's the worst time you should have your phone on is while you're sleeping. And I noticed this after I started shutting my phone off at night. Yeah, you need to stop that. Yeah, you definitely need to stop that. And if you have Wi-Fi, your router in your room, take it out of your room and move it to the far side of the house so that you're not picking up on um those electromagnetic frequency waves. The cell phones are enough to emit so much radiation that we don't even realize it because we're just addicted to it. You'll notice that if you ever have your phone, like, don't ever wear your phone on you. Okay. You'll notice that you'll start like having like a dull ache in an area where you might carry your phone all the time. Like if you're holding it in your right hand all the time, you may start feeling some aches on that right side of the body, or if you're left hand, you'll notice it on the left side of the body. So you have to pay attention because the body is always sending us signals that it's under distress. And a lot of times those signals will be the dull body aches that we're picking up from the radiation of the phones. And again, if you're sleeping with that phone on at night, it definitely will hinder your ability to be able to remember your dreams. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's real. It's real. It's real. As a matter of fact, if y'all are not following me on my coaching page, I have another YouTube page, Coach Felita. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. Follow me on my other YouTube page, Coach Felita. I share a lot of information over on that page that pertains to wellness and things that we need to do to take care of ourselves, self-care strategies. And I'm going to be putting out a lot more content for the new year. I've been working on my plan all this month. And also, I'm going to be sharing with y'all, I'm going to be doing a vision board workshop. It's going to be Saturday, December 30th. So if you're interested in participating, I'm going to share the link and you can register to attend. Okay. All right. So, with that being said, I thank y'all so very much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you so, so very much. I will not be here next week, nor, let me see, I will not be here on the 21st. I may possibly come back on the 28th, okay? But for right now, I'm going to take some time all next week to be doing some planning for my businesses, putting my workshops together and all of that. Okay, good, great. Thank you so much, Northern. I appreciate that. And so, and also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel as well. It is very unhealthy and invasive. We were more healthy, loving, and used our brains more back in the day. We can get back there if the trumpets do not sound first. I agree, Benjela. I agree. Yeah, technology is just, I'm telling you, you should definitely be doing your detox strategies. One strategy I'm going to get ready to post on my Coach Felita page. I'm going to be sharing a detox bath that I do that is really, really good because we're exposed to environmental toxins. They're spraying the skies with every time you see all of the tic-tac-toes in the skies, those are chemtrails. And as that stuff comes down and falls down onto the planet, we're picking up all of those chemicals. So you have to take preventative measures to make sure that you are detoxing your body, your mind. All of that is so important. So I'm going to be posting one of my detox baths that I do. Another thing that I do is I use the bentonite clay, and I do that as part of my self care regimen. And I use it on my body, do it on my face. All of these preventative measures we must do to help detox our bodies from all of being exposed to all of these chemicals and the bad food that they're selling us now. It's a very, very sad day and time. Very sad day and time. Yeah. Okay. So again, I appreciate y'all so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you so much. I want to send you so much love, so much prosperity. I pray that you have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and enjoy your family. Okay. You do, Northern? Okay, good. That's cool. That's cool. All right, great. So again, y'all have a wonderful night. And again, I won't be here next Thursday, but I will try to come back and do another live on the 28th. You'll see it posted, okay? Thanks again. Y'all have a merry, very, very Merry Christmas. And thank you so much again for joining. Happy holidays. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.